So the dentist calls on a Monday evening. It's almost 5 o'clock. My husband had been to the dentist on Friday, and they were working on his tooth, but they couldn't finish it, so he had to reschedule. So Monday evening we get a phone call. The dentist said, "Hey Joe, you know what? I can't find my drill bit. It's missing. We went all through the trash, and the only thing we can figure out, you might have swallowed it." And Joe was like, "Well, what should I do?" And he goes, "Well, you're going to need an x-ray." So Joe hung up, and he's telling me the story, and I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. You went to the dentist on Friday, and they're calling you Monday evening. First of all, I have a huge problem with that. But, what was I going to do?" And Joe was very matter of fact, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe they just forgot to call me." The man lost a drill bit, and it might be in somebody's stomach, and they failed to just call for how many hours later? So Joe calls the dentist back on my suggestion and asked for a prescription to have a chest x-ray. He says, "No, they shouldn't need one, just have them call me." So Joe goes to the hospital, tells the registration clerk to call the dentist, and they said, "No, we don't do that. The dentist has to call them or write a prescription." So he comes home. He said, "What should I do?" So I says, "Well, call the dentist, have him write a prescription, and then go back and have a chest x-ray." The dentist is like, "Well, just go to the emergency room." Joe hung up. He told me, and I was furious. So I made him call the dentist back to go and suggested that the dentist go to the office, get the prescription pad, write a chest x-ray order, and then send it to the hospital. So Joe called the dentist, and the dentist says, "Well, no, I'm an hour and a half away." Well, he's at home. His office is an hour and a half away. First of all, that's not our problem that he lives an hour and a half away from his office. He should have gotten in his car, gone to the office, wrote a prescription so Joe could have this done. No, instead, he told Joe to go to the emergency room and tell them what happened. So I was furious, but Joe doesn't cause waves. So we go to the emergency room. 4 or 5 hours later, Joe has a chest x-ray. In the midst of all these sick people, Joe has a very bad heart. He should have not been in an area where he could have contacted something major because of I don't want to say stupid, but I will, a stupid mistake that the dentist made. Long story short, 4 hours later, yes, they find the piece of drill, and it's in his colon. So the doctor comes in and says, "Yes, we found the piece of drill. It looks like it's in your colon, but are you sure you didn't swallow something else? Because it looks like there's a second piece up in the chest area." And we're like, "Well, no, the dentist only said that they keep missing a piece of drill bit, but at this point, who really knows?" He says, the piece in your abdomen looks like it's in your colon, and you're going to pass that. So in 2 or 3 days, you come back. We'll take another another X-ray, and make sure it passed. But the piece in your chest looks like it's in the pulmonary artery, and it's major surgery, and we can't do that here. We're going to have to send you to Presby. And I was like, "You mean tonight?" He goes, "Well, there's something in his pulmonary artery that needs to be taken care of. It's not something we take lightly. It's in a major artery, major surgery. We need to address that." And he passed the drill bit. I brought the bills to the dentist for the emergency room, and and the dentist could have cared less and said it wasn't his responsibility to pay the bills.